Just 7 kilometers from the heart of Nairobi, a city of nearly 5 million people, lies a place where lions still roar at dawn, rhinos tread ancient paths, and herds of zebra graze while traffic hums in the distance. This is Nairobi National Park, a paradox, a sanctuary, and a symbol, all in one. It's hard to believe such a place exists. Where else can you start your morning in a business suit and end it face-to-face with a lion just 20 minutes away? Nairobi National Park isn't just Kenya's oldest park. It's one of the boldest experiments in conservation coexisting with urban life. A fence separates it from the city to the north, but to the south, open plains stretch out into the wild where animals still migrate through the Kitengela corridor, if they're lucky enough to find a path not yet taken by concrete. The park spans just 117 square kilometers, tiny by African standards. Yet in this modest space, life thrives. Over 100 mammal species and 500 species of birds. From endangered black rhinos to elegant giraffes, cheetahs in mid-chase, to ostriches crossing the plains like ancient guards of the savannah. But it's not just about what you see, it's what you feel. At the Ivory burning site, where Kenya made history by destroying poached ivory, you're reminded, this park is a battleground not just for survival, but for values, for what we choose to protect. At Hyena Dam, you sit quietly as sacred ibises, herons, and fish eagles gather at the water's edge, unaware, or perhaps uncaring, of the skyline that hovers beyond. And then there are the people, the rangers, the conservationists, the children visiting on school trips, learning that nature doesn't belong somewhere out there. It belongs here, close, personal, part of our story. Because Nairobi National Park doesn't just ask us to look at animals. It asks us to look at ourselves. What does it mean to build a future where progress doesn't mean paving over the past? So, the next time you fly into Nairobi and see that strip of green hugging the city's edge, know this: that's not just a park, it's a promise. That even in the heart of a growing city, the wild can still find its voice. And sometimes, if we're quiet enough, we can hear it roar. In Nairobi National Park, every blade of grass, every rustling bush, and every muddy track tells a story. This is not just land, it's ancestral ground, shaped by time, rain, and rhythm. Here life unfolds in full color, from the golden mane of a lion catching the last rays of the sun, to the silent grace of a black rhino trudging through tall grass, leaving behind footprints like whispers of ancient survival. You'll find no elephants here, not in this park. But don't let that fool you. 4 of the big 5 still reign. Rhinos charge the air with power. Buffaloes hold court in the wetlands. Leopards weave through the acacia shadows, unseen but ever present. And lions, well, lions write their own legends here. But it's not just about what you see, it's about the canvas they live on. Dry highland forests stretch into wide savannas, where giraffes browse on flat-topped acacias and hartebeests watch from hilltops. Wetlands pulse with life. Frogs calling to the sky, kingfishers diving like blue streaks. Along the Mbagathi River, the bush thickens. It's green, it's humid, it's full of secrets. This park is a patchwork of ecosystems in harmony. Grassland, forest, marsh, and river, each singing a different song in the grand chorus of life. Where else can you have breakfast with skyscrapers in the rear view and lunch with zebras in the foreground? The park doesn't just preserve wildlife, it invites you into its rhythm. Start at the main gate, just off Langata Road, a few minutes from Nairobi's urban buzz. There, the Kenya Wildlife Service headquarters greets you with maps, rangers, and warm advice. Right next door is a gem, the Nairobi Safari Walk. Elevated wooden paths wind through miniature habitats. A cheetah in the bush, a bongo in the glade, teaching visitors what makes Kenya so ecologically rich. A few steps further and you meet the survivors. Lions rescued from traps, birds with injured wings, and baby leopards who never knew their mothers. This is the animal orphanage, where stories of loss transform into stories of hope. Looking for a quiet moment? Mokoyet Picnic Site offers a view of the plains where you might just spot a herd of impalas mid-leap, or a lioness watching from the ridge. And if you want history with your nature, walk to the Ivory burning site, a place that once turned 12 tons of tusks into ash and made global headlines. A stark reminder, this park is not just land, it's legacy. Some safaris take days of travel, charter flights, and endless dusty roads. But here, the wild begins where the city ends. Nairobi National Park is perhaps the easiest national park to reach in Africa. No need for bush planes or 4x4 convoys, though those help too. An Uber, a local taxi, or a guided safari van will take you from your hotel to the park gate before your coffee gets cold. Once inside, the adventure begins. You can self-drive through the well-marked trails or let a local guide take the wheel and help you spot what hides in plain sight. Morning and late afternoon are best. That's when the predators are active, the light is golden, and the savannah hums with energy. But remember, gates open at 6 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. sharp. Because even the wild has a curfew. What is it worth to watch a rhino graze with the city skyline behind it? To hear a lion roar while planes descend overhead? In Nairobi National Park, the price of admission is more than just a fee. It's a contribution to survival. Here's what it takes for foreign tourists, around USD $43 for adults and US $22 for children. That money funds rangers, anti-poaching patrols, animal rescue, and habitat preservation. It keeps the park clean. This park is one of the best places in East Africa to see the endangered black rhinoceros in the wild. Each rhino here is tracked and guarded, a living symbol of resilience. Poached nearly to extinction, they now patrol the plains like armored guardians, powerful, solitary, and deeply territorial. You can craft a moment around spotting a black rhino at dusk, its silhouette against the city skyline, a haunting reminder of the fragile balance between extinction and hope. The lions of Nairobi are unlike any other pride in Kenya. They don't roam endless savannas. They rule a sliver of wilderness backed by office buildings and highways. They've learned to hunt in tight spaces, to disappear into the bush with Nairobi traffic echoing nearby. Their presence is controversial, sometimes wandering beyond the park's unfenced southern edge into livestock areas. This opens up ethical conversations around conservation versus community impact. Leopards are here, but they're ghosts. You might never see one, but you might feel it. The rustle of leaves, a flash of spots in the treetops, the silence after the birds go quiet. The leopards of Nairobi are reminders that even in a city-bound park, true wilderness never loses its secrets. One of the most underappreciated highlights is the birdlife. Martial eagle, the largest eagle in Africa, secretary bird, striding the plains like a soldier in feathers. Crowned cranes with their golden crowns dancing at dawn. Migratory birds from Europe and Asia, some flying thousands of miles to rest here. From wetlands to savanna, Nairobi National Park is a year-round symphony of wings. This makes the park not just a safari site, but a living aviary, perfect for nature photographers and bird watchers. There's more to see than just predators and icons. Coke's hartebeests with their elongated faces and powerful leaps. Eland, the largest antelope in Africa, yet graceful and shy. Jackals, mongoose, porcupines, and even aardvarks if you stay long enough or drive at dusk. Baboon troops that act as the unofficial greeters near the park gates. These animals aren't always featured on postcards, but they carry the daily drama of survival just as powerfully. At Hyena Dam, you'll spot hippos lounging, monitor lizards sunbathing, and crocodiles lurking in still water. Kingfishers and egrets gather here in quiet competition, while buffalo cool their bulk in the shallows. These aquatic scenes bring a welcome contrast to the dry plains and offer up-close opportunities for photography and observation. One of the most powerful storytelling moments is watching the eternal game of predator and prey unfold. A lioness crouching in the grass, a herd of impala standing still, ears twitching, the breathless moment before the chase begins. Nairobi National Park may be small, but it holds the same intensity, drama, and suspense of the largest wildernesses on Earth. Compact, close, and unforgettable.